So let's start reading Anatomy and Development of Eye. Anatomy of Eye. This chapter gives only a brief account of the anatomy of eyeball and its related structures. The detailed anatomy of different structures is described in the relevant chapters. Eyeball. Each eyeball is a cystic structure kept distended by the pressure inside it. Shape. Although generally referred to as a globe, the eyeball is not a sphere but an oblate spheroid consisting of two modified spheres fused together. Cornea is a part of the anterior smaller sphere with a radius of about 7.8 millimeters, and sclera is a part of the posterior larger sphere with a radius of about 12 millimeters. Poles. The central point on the maximal convexities of the anterior and posterior curvatures of the eyeball is called the anterior and posterior pole, respectively. Equator of the eyeball lies at the midplane between the two poles. Dimensions of an adult eyeball. The anterior posterior diameter is 24 millimeters. Okay. The horizontal diameter is 23.5 millimeters. The vertical diameter is 23 millimeters. The circumference is 75 millimeters. The volume is 6.5 milliliters and the weight is 7 grams. Coats of the eyeball. The eyeball comprises three coats: outer fibrous coat, in the middle vascular coat, and the inner nervous coat. First, fibrous coat, cornea and sclera. It is a dense, strong wall which protects the interocular contents. Cornea is the anterior 1/6 of the fibrous coat and is a transparent structure. Sclera forms the posterior 5/6 opaque part. Limbus. Cornea is set into the sclera like a watch glass. Junction of the cornea and sclera is called limbus. Conjunctiva is firmly attached at the limbus. Vascular coat, uveal tissue. It supplies nutrition to the various structures of the eyeball. It consists of three parts. Iris is the anterior most part of the uveal tract. It is a thin, circular, disc-like structure with a central hole called the pupil of 3 to 4 millimeters in size. Ciliary body is forward continuation of the choroid and extends from the ora serrata to the iris. Choroid is the posterior most part of the uveal tract, which extends from the optic disc margin to the ora serrata. Third, nervous coat, retina. Retina, the innermost coat of the eyeball, is a thin, transparent membrane which extends from the optic disc to the ora serrata. It is concerned with visual functions and projects to the visual cortex through the visual pathway. Segments and chambers of the eyeball. The eyeball can be divided into two segments, anterior and posterior. Anterior segment. It contains the crystalline lens which is suspended from the ciliary body by zonules and structures anterior to it. It is the part of the ciliary body, the iris, cornea, and two aqueous humor filled spaces, which is the anterior and the posterior chambers. So the anterior chamber is bounded anteriorly by the back of the cornea and posteriorly by the anterior surface of iris and part of the ciliary body. Depth. The anterior chamber is about 2.5 millimeters deep in the center in normal adults. It is slightly shallower in hypermetropes and deeper in myopes, but it is almost equal in the two eyes of the same individual. Contents. It contains about 0.25 ml of aqueous humor, the watery fluid produced by ciliary body that provides nutrients and oxygen to the lens and cornea. Communicates with the posterior chamber through the pupil. Angle of anterior chamber is the peripheral recess through which drainage of aqueous humor occurs. Posterior chamber, it is a triangular space containing 0.06 ml of aqueous humor. It is bounded anteriorly by the posterior surface of iris and part of the ciliary body, posteriorly by the crystalline lens and its zonules, and laterally by the ciliary body. Second, posterior segment. It includes the structures posterior to the lens, which is the vitreous humor, which is a gel-like structure which fills the space behind the lens, retina, choroid, and optic disc. Visual pathway. Each eyeball acts as a camera. It perceives the images and relays the sensations to the brain, occipital cortex, via a visual pathway which comprises optic nerves, optic chiasma, optic tracts, geniculate bodies, and optic radiations. Orbit, extraocular muscles and appendages of the eye. Bony orbit. Each orbit is a quadrilateral pyramid-shaped bony cavity, socket of skull, in which the eyeball is located in the anterior part, nearer to the roof and lateral wall than to the floor and medial wall. Extraocular muscles, 6 in number on each side, control movements of the eyeball. Appendages of the eye, which are essential for normal working of the eyeball, include eyelids, conjunctiva, and lacrimal apparatus. Eyelids, these form the shutters which protect the eyeballs anteriorly. Conjunctiva is a thin translucent mucous membrane which lines the posterior surface of the eyelids and the anterior part of the sclera. Lacrimal apparatus, it comprises the lacrimal glands which produce tears to keep the cornea and conjunctiva moist for smooth functioning, and lacrimal passages which drain the continuously formed tears. Blood vessels and nerves, arteries, ophthalmic artery, a branch of the internal carotid artery, constitutes the main source of blood supply for the eyeball and other orbital structures. Blood supply of each ocular structure is described in relevant chapters. Branches of the ophthalmic artery, ocular group and orbital group. Ocular group contains central retinal artery, long posterior ciliary arteries, 2 in number, short posterior ciliary arteries, 20 in number, muscular branches like anterior ciliary arteries, 7 in number. The orbital group contains lacrimal artery, lateral palpebral artery, recurrent meningeal artery, supraorbital artery, medial palpebral artery, posterior ethmoidal artery, anterior ethmoidal artery, dorsal nasal artery, terminal branch, supratrochlear artery, terminal branch. Veins. Veins draining blood from the eyeball include central retinal vein, which drains the blood from the retina, and the anterior ciliary veins, short posterior ciliary veins, and vena verticosa, which drain blood from the uveal tissue. Orbital venous networks. In addition to the veins draining blood from various structures, the orbit also contains inferior and superior venous networks. Inferior venous network lies near the orbital floor in an anteromedial to posterolateral axis. Superior venous network is smaller and lies above the levator palpebrae superioris muscle. Main venous channels which ultimately get tributaries from various orbital structures include superior ophthalmic vein, inferior ophthalmic vein, middle ophthalmic vein, medial ophthalmic vein, angular vein, and cavernous sinus. Nerves. Sensory nerves, motor nerves, autonomic nerves. Sensory nerves. Ophthalmic nerve. Ophthalmic nerve is the smallest of the 3 divisions of the trigeminal, which is the 5th cranial nerve. It is purely a sensory nerve and supplies the various ocular structures through its 3 branches. The 3 branches are lacrimal nerve, frontal nerve, and nasociliary nerve. Lacrimal nerve. It lies in the lateral part of the orbit and supplies the lacrimal gland, conjunctiva, and lateral part of the upper eyelid. Frontal nerve divides into 2 branches in the middle of the orbit. Supratrochlear nerve supplies the conjunctiva, middle part of the upper eyelid, and skin of the forehead above the root of nose. Supraorbital nerve supplies the conjunctiva, central part of the upper eyelid, and part of the skin of forehead and scalp. Nasociliary nerve, it has the following branches. Long ciliary nerves, 2 in number, pierce the sclera on either side of the optic nerve, run forward between sclera and choroid, and supply sensory nerves to the ciliary body, iris, and cornea. Communicating branches to ciliary ganglion form its sensory root, and their fibers pass along the short ciliary nerves to supply the ciliary body, iris, and cornea. Posterior ethmoidal nerve supplies the ethmoidal and the sphenoidal air sinuses. Anterior ethmoidal nerve is a terminal branch of the nasociliary nerve which leaves the orbit to the anterior ethmoidal foramen. Infratrochlear nerve is the other terminal branch of the nasociliary nerve. It runs forward and supplies the conjunctiva, the lacrimal sac, the caruncle, and the medial part of the eyelids. Motor nerves. Oculomotor, third cranial nerve, divides into two divisions in the orbit: superior division and inferior division. The superior division supplies to the superior rectus and the levator palpebrae superioris. The inferior division supplies the medial rectus, inferior oblique, and also sends a branch carrying parasympathetic fibers to the ciliary ganglion. Trochlear, fourth cranial nerve, supplies the superior oblique, and abducens, which is the sixth cranial nerve, supplies the lateral rectus muscle. Facial, which is the seventh cranial nerve, the branches supply the orbicularis oculi muscles of the eyelids. Autonomic nerves, parasympathetic nerves, Edinger-Westphal nucleus, which is located in the midbrain, sends preganglionic fibers and postganglionic nerve fibers. The preganglionic fibers through the third cranial nerve to the ciliary ganglion and accessory ganglion. Postganglionic nerve fibers from the ciliary ganglion travel along the short ciliary nerves to supply the sphincter pupillae muscle, and postganglionic fibers from the accessory ganglion supply the ciliary muscle. Salivatory nucleus located in the pons sends preganglionic fibers through the facial nerve to the sphenopalatine ganglion. Postganglionic secretomotor fibers finally reach the lacrimal gland through the lacrimal nerve. Ciliary ganglion. Ciliary ganglion is a peripheral parasympathetic ganglion placed in the course of oculomotor nerve near the apex of the orbit. Roots of ciliary ganglion include sensory root, as described above, comes from the nasociliary nerve. Sympathetic root of ciliary ganglion comes from the internal carotid plexus. These fibers also do not relay here and pass along the short ciliary nerves to supply the blood vessels of the eyeball. Parasympathetic root of ciliary ganglion arises from the nerve to the inferior oblique muscle and carries the preganglionic fibers from the Edinger-Westphal nucleus. These fibers relay here, and postganglionic fibers pass through the short ciliary nerves and supply the sphincter pupillae and ciliary muscle. Short ciliary nerves, branches of the ciliary ganglion, about 10 in number, pierce the sclera around the optic nerve and run forward between the sclera and the choroid and reach the ciliary muscles, where the sensory fibers form a plexus and supply it. Sympathetic nerves. Preganglionic fibers arise from the ciliospinal center of Budge, located in the inferior mediolateral cell column of spinal cord at C8, T1, and T2 levels, and go to the cervical sympathetic chain to relay in the superior cervical ganglion. Postganglionic fibers from the superior cervical ganglion enters the skull with the internal carotid plexuses and supply the following structures. The orbital arteries receive vasomotor fibers through the plexuses around the ophthalmic artery. Dilator pupillae muscle is supplied by the sympathetic fibers from the carotid plexuses, which enter the Gasserian ganglion of the fifth cranial nerve, and ultimately reach the dilator pupillae muscle along with the long ciliary branches of the nasociliary nerve, which is a branch of the ophthalmic division of the fifth nerve. Blood vessels inside the eyeball are supplied by the fibers from the internal carotid plexuses, which join the ciliary ganglion as its sympathetic root, and without relaying here, these fibers enter the eyeball along the short ciliary nerves. These fibers may also supply the dilator pupillae muscle when it is not supplied by the usual course via the nasociliary nerve. Palpebral, Muller's muscle of the eyelid, is supplied by the postganglionic fibers forming a cavernous plexus reaching the muscle through the branches of the oculomotor, which is the third cranial nerve. Note: paresis of the ocular sympathetic nerves results in Horner syndrome. Lymphatic drainage. The lymphatics draining the eyelids and the conjunctival tissues are arranged in two groups. Medial group of lymphatics drain into the submandibular lymph nodes, and the lateral group of lymphatics drain into the subauricular lymph nodes. Now we are going to see the development of the eye. Development of the eyeballs can be considered to commence around day 22, when the embryo has 8 pairs of somites and is around 2 millimeters in length. Formation of primordia forming ocular structures. Primordia from which eyeball and its related structures are derived include optic vesicle and outgrowths from the prosencephalon, a neuroectodermal structure, the lens placode, a specialized area of surface ectoderm, and the surrounding surface ectoderm. Mesenchyme surrounding the optic vesicle, and the visceral mesoderm of the maxillary processes. Before going into the development of individual structure, it will be helpful to understand the formation of optic vesicle, lens placode, optic cup, and changes in the surrounding mesenchyme, which play a major role in the development of the eye and its related structures. Formation of optic vesicle and the optic stalk. The area of the neural plate which forms the prosencephalon develops a linear thickened area, the optic plate, on either side, but soon becomes depressed to form the optic sulcus. Meanwhile, the neural plate gets converted into prosencephalic vesicle. As the optic sulcus deepens, the walls of the prosencephalon overlying the sulcus bulge out to form the optic vesicle. The proximal part of the optic vesicle becomes constricted and elongated to form the optic stalk. Formation of lens vesicle. The optic vesicle grows laterally and comes in contact with the surface ectoderm. The surface ectoderm overlying the optic vesicle becomes thickened to form the lens placode, which sinks below the surface and is converted into the lens vesicle. It is soon separated from the surface ectoderm at 33rd day of gestation. Formation of the optic cup. The optic vesicle is converted into a double layered optic cup. It appears that this has happened because the developing lens has invaginated itself into the optic vesicle. In fact, conversion of the optic vesicle to the optic cup is due to the differential growth of walls of the vesicle. The margins of the optic cup grow over the upper and lateral sides of the lens to enclose it. However, such a growth does not take place over the inferior part of the lens, and therefore the walls of the cup show deficiency in this part. This deficiency extends to some distance along the inferior surface of the optic stalk and is called a choroidal or the fetal fissure. Changes in the associated mesenchyme. Mesenchyme is a type of undifferentiated connective tissue. It is derived from the embryonal mesoderm as well as from the neural crest cells. Neural crest is a neuroectodermal structure formed between the developing neural tube and the surface ectoderm. The developing neural tube from which the central nervous system develops is surrounded by the mesenchyme, which subsequently condenses to form the meninges. An extension of this mesenchyme also covers the optic vesicle. Later, this mesenchyme differentiates to form a superficial fibrous layer corresponding to dura and a deeper vascular layer corresponding to pia arachnoid. Fibrous layer of mesenchyme forms the corneal stroma in the anterior part and the sclera and the extraocular muscles in the posterior part. Vascular layer of mesenchyme forms hyaloid system of vessels. With the formation of optic cup, part of the inner vascular layer of mesenchyme is carried into the cup through the choroidal fissure. With the closure of this fissure, the portion of the mesenchyme which has made its way into the eye is cut off from the surrounding mesenchyme and gives rise to the hyaloid system of vessels. Iridopupillary membrane is formed from the anterior part of the vascular layer of mesenchyme. In the peripheral region, it attaches to the anterior part of the optic cup to form the iris. The central part of this lamina is pupillary membrane, which also forms the tunica vasculosa lentis. Choroid and ciliary body are formed from the posterior part of the vascular layer of mesenchyme. Development of various ocular structures. Retina. Retina is developed from the two walls of the optic cup, namely the nervous retina from the inner wall and the pigment epithelium from the outer wall. Nervous retina, the inner wall of the optic cup, is a single layered epithelium. It divides into several layers of cells which differentiate into the following three layers, as also occurs in the neural tube. First is the matrix cell layer. Cells of this layer form the rods and cones. Mantle layer. Cells of this layer form the bipolar cells, ganglion cells, and other neurons of retina and the supporting tissue. Marginal layer. This layer forms the ganglion cells, axons of which form the nerve fiber layers. At 8 months, all layers of retina are seen histologically, but maturation of the photoreceptors continues after birth. It explains why visual acuity of the baby improves as a child grows. Pigment epithelial layer. Cells of the outer wall of the optic cup become pigmented Its posterior part forms the pigmented epithelium of retina, and the anterior part continues forward in the ciliary body, and iris as their anterior pigmented epithelium. Optic nerve. Optic nerve develops in the framework of the optic stalk as below. Optic nerve fibers develop from the nerve fiber layer of the retina, which grow into the optic stalk by passing through the choroidal fissure at the sixth week of gestation and pass posteriorly to the brain. Glial system of nerve develops from the neuroectodermal cells forming the outer wall of the optic stalk. Glial septa surrounding the nerve bundles are composed of astroglia that differentiate from the cells of the inner wall of the optic stalk. Sheaths of optic nerve are formed from the layers of the mesenchyme, like meninges of other parts of the central nervous system. Myelination of nerve fibers takes place from the brain distally and reaches the lamina cribrosa just before birth and stops there. In some cases, this extends up to the optic disc and presents as a congenital opaque nerve fibers. These develop after birth. Crystalline lens. The crystalline lens is developed from the surface ectoderm as below. Lens plecoid and lens vesicle formation. Primary lens fibers. The cells of the posterior wall of the lens vesicle elongate rapidly to form the primary lens fibers, which obliterate the cavity of lens vesicle. The primary lens fibers are formed up to third month of gestation and are preserved as the compact core of lens, known as embryonic nucleus. Secondary lens fibers are formed from equatorial cells of anterior epithelium, which remain active throughout the life. Since the secondary lens fibers are laid down concentrically, the lens on section has a laminated appearance. Depending upon the period of development, the secondary lens fibers are named as below. Fetal nucleus, 3rd to 8th month. Infantile nucleus, last weeks of fetal life to puberty. Adult nucleus after puberty. And cortex, superficial lens fibers of the adult lens. Lens capsule is a true basement membrane, thickest in the body, produced by the lens epithelium on its external aspect. Cornea. Epithelium is formed from the surface ectoderm. Other layers like endothelium, Descemet's membrane, predescemet's membrane, stoma, and the Bowman's layer are derived from the fibrous layer of mesenchyme lying anterior to the optic cup. Sclera. Sclera is developed from the fibrous layer of mesenchyme surrounding the optic cup, corresponding to the dura of CNS. Choroid. Choroid is derived from the inner vascular layer of the mesenchyme that surrounds the optic cup. Ciliary body. The two layers of epithelium of ciliary body develop from the anterior part of the two layers of the optic cup. Neuroectodermal. Stoma of ciliary body. Ciliary muscles blood vessels are developed from the vascular layer of mesenchyme surrounding the optic cup. Choroid. Choroid is derived from the inner vascular layer of the mesenchyme that surrounds the optic cup. Ciliary body. The two layers of epithelium of ciliary body develop from the anterior part of the two layers of optic cup. Neuroectodermal. Stoma of ciliary body. Ciliary muscle and blood vessels are developed from the vascular layer of mesenchyme surrounding the optic cup. Iris. Both layers of epithelium are derived from the marginal region of the optic cup. Neuroectodermal. Sphincter and dilator pupillae muscles are derived from the anterior epithelium. Neuroectodermal. Stoma and blood vessels of the iris develop from the vascular mesenchyme present anterior to the optic cup. Vitreous. Primary or primitive vitreous is mesenchymal in origin, which starts forming at 4 to 5 weeks of gestation and is a vascular structure having the hyaloid system of vessels. Secondary or definitive of vitreous proper is secreted by the neuroectoderm of optic cup at 2 months of gestation. This is an avascular structure. When this vitreous fills the cavity, the primitive vitreous with hyaloid vessels is pushed anteriorly and ultimately disappears. Tertiary vitreous is developed at 3 to 4 months of gestation from the neuroectoderm in the ciliary region and is represented by the ciliary zonules. Eyelids. Eyelids are formed by reduplication of surface ectoderm above and below the cornea. The folds enlarge and their margins meet and fuse with each other. The lids cut off a space called a conjunctival sac. The folds thus formed contain some mesoderm which would form the muscles of the lid and the tarsal plate. The lids separate after the 7th month of the intrauterine life. Tarsal glands are formed by the ingrowth of a regular row of solid columns of ectodermal cells from the lid margins. Cilia develop as epithelial buds from the lid margins. Conjunctiva. Conjunctiva develops from the ectoderm lining the lids and covering the globe. Conjunctival glands develop as growth of the basal cells of upper conjunctival fornix. Few glands develop from the lower fornix. The lacrimal apparatus. Lacrimal gland develops from about 8 cuneiform epithelial buds which grow by the end of the 2nd month of fetal life from the superolateral side of the conjunctival sac. Lacrimal sac, nasolacrimal duct, and canaliculi develop from the ectoderm of the nasolacrimal furrow, which extends from the medial angle of the eye to the region of the developing mouth. The ectoderm gets buried to form a solid cord, which is later canalized. The upper part forms the lacrimal sac. The nasolacrimal duct is derived from the lower part as it forms a secondary connection with the nasal cavity. The ectodermal buds arise from the medial margins of the eyelids, which are later canalized to form the canaliculi. Extraocular muscles. All the extraocular muscles develop in a closely associated manner by mesodermally derived mesenchymal condensation. This probably corresponds to pre-optic myotomes. Hence the triple nerve supply, that is 3rd nerve, 4th nerve and 6th cranial nerves. Summary of ocular embryology. Structures derived from the embryonic layers. Based on the above description, the various structures derived from the embryonic layers are given below. Surface ectoderm, neural ectoderm, associated paraxial mesenchyme, and visceral mesoderm of maxillary process below the eye. Surface ectoderm, the crystalline lens, epithelium of cornea, epithelium of conjunctiva, lacrimal gland, epithelium of eyelids and its derivatives like cilia, tarsal glands, and conjunctival glands, epithelium lining the lacrimal apparatus. Neural ectoderm, retina with its pigment epithelium, epithelial layers of the ciliary body, epithelial layers of the iris, sphincter and dilator pupillae muscles, optic nerve, neuroglia, and nervous elements only, melanocytes, secondary vitreous, ciliary zonules, tertiary vitreous, associated paraxial mesenchyme, blood vessels of choroid, iris, ciliary vessels, central retinal artery, other vessels, primary vitreous, substantia propria decimates membrane and endothelium of cornea, the sclera, stroma of iris, ciliary muscle, sheets of optic nerve, extraocular muscles, fat, ligaments, and other connective tissue structures of the orbit, upper and medial walls of the orbit, connective tissue of the upper eyelid, visceral mesoderm of the maxillary process below the eye, lower and lateral walls of the orbit, connective tissue of the lower eyelid. Important milestones in the development of eye. Stage of growth. On the 22nd day, the optic pids appear on either side of the cephalic end of the forebrain. On the 25th day, the primary optic vesicle invaginates. On the 27th day, formation of lens placoid from the surface ectoderm. 28th day, development of embryonic fissure. 6 weeks, retinal layers differentiate, lens vesicle is formed. On 9 weeks, sclera, cornea, and extraocular muscles differentiate. 10 weeks, lumen of the optic nerve is obliterated. 3 months, optic tracts completed, pars ciliaris, pars iridica, retina grows forward and the lid folds develop. 4 months, hyaloid vessels regress, iris sphincter, dilator and ciliary muscles develop. 8th month, fetal nucleus of lens is complete. 9th month, except the macula, retina is fully developed. The infantile nucleus of the lens begins to appear. The pupillary membrane and the hyaloid vessels disappear. Myelination of the optic nerve reaches the lamina cribrosa. Eye at birth. Anteroposterior diameter of the eyeball is about 17 millimeters, 70% of the adult size, which is attained by 7 to 8 years. Corneal diameter is about 10 millimeters. Adult size is attained by 2 years of age. The anterior chamber is shallow and the angle is narrow. Pupil is small and does not dilate fully. Lens is spherical at birth. Infantile nucleus is present. The lens accommodation begins at 1 month of age, becomes more regular by 2 to 3 months, and almost like adults by 6 months. So there's 14 diopters to 16 diopters at birth. Retina. Apart from the macular area of the retina is fully differentiated. Macula differentiates 4 to 6 months after birth. Myelination of optic nerve fibers has reached the lamina cribrosa. Refractive status. The newborn is usually hypermetropic by +2 to +3 diopters. Orbit is more divergent 50 degrees as compared to the adult 45 degrees. Volume of the orbit is 50% of the adult volume. Lacrimal gland is still underdeveloped and tears are not secreted. Postnatal period. Fixation starts developing in the first month and is completed in 6 months. Macula is fully developed by 4 to 6 months. Fusional reflexes, stereopsis, and accommodation are well developed by 4 to 6 months. Cornea attains normal adult diameter by 2 years of age. The lens grows throughout life. Thank you.